Remember that time Disney World changed its most expensive hotels?
Today we're talking about resort refurbishments. Oh wow, what a wall sconce. This is gonna be a hot episode.
Disney's Polynesian Village Resort.
It's been around since Disney World opened. It is totally iconic.
It is on the Magic Kingdom monorail loop, so it's very close to Magic Kingdom.
How do I feel about Disney's Polynesian Village Resort? I mean, that's like asking me how I feel about my own mother. I love the Polynesian Village Resort.
I've never stayed there, but it's one of those places that I've always wanted to stay there.
It's my favorite. Of all the ones we're talking about today, this is my absolute favorite.
The vibes of the Polynesian, relaxed. Hawaiian is not necessarily correct, although it is correct at the same time.
It's home to one of my favorite places of all time, Trader Sam's, which is a great, like, kind of tiki, immersive bar.
If you are looking for chill, namaste, vacay vibes.
For those days when Magic Kingdom is crazy and you just gotta get out and just take a nap on the beach, go to the Polynesian.
There are a few refurbishments happening at the Polynesian Village Resort. One is that the rooms have gotten and are getting a Moana retheme.
And let me tell you something, these rooms were taken to the next level. They are simply gorgeous. I mean, there's Hey, he's hiding over by the coffee machine.
I like the fact that they're tying in intellectual properties with their resorts, but also I'm kind of a Disney purist, so I'm like, what about your original IPs, the things that you started with?
It can feel a little generic beach house. And honestly, that's a little bit how the Polynesian new rooms feel to me. They feel like I'm going to the beach in North Carolina. This is an expensive beach house, but there's gonna be sand in the shower and maybe in the sheets, at least definitely after day one, because no matter how much you wash the sand off you always get sand in your beach bed.
I think it's always exciting to come in with new things, but also I want to make sure that we stay the Disney parks created as a whole to begin with, that those same vibes and those same truths continue to stay around.
And I love good traditional Disney, but at some point, this will be traditional for your kids or your grandkids. So I think it's fun. Keep adding things as long as it's still, Disney classic Imagineering. And I think this was an example of that.
Does that make sense? Am I talking weird? I don't know.
And then we've also got, coming up, they're building a new DVC building.
They leveled the luau. The luau is flat because they're building a DVC tower.
Stop, don't ask me this question. It's gonna make me too sad. Yes, I attended the Spirit of Aloha show.
I did not ever get to attend the Spirit of Aloha dinner, and now I never will.
I attended the Spirit of Aloha dinner show in 2015, and it was my first time doing it, and I was so excited.
The Spirit of Aloha show was a luau dinner show. You would come and they would literally bury a whole pig. You know how they cook pigs by burying them with fire, heat, hot rocks maybe, molten lava, something. Anyway, they bury a pig, it cooks under the ground with the insulation of the dirt, then they dig it back up, bring it out, and serve it to everyone.
I hope and dream that it would make me feel like I was at the restaurant that Nani worked at in Lilo and Stitch, where Stitch and Lilo sit in the back and she tells him his anger levels while they eat chocolate cake, or really Stitch eats chocolate cake. That's how I wanted it to feel.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Breedlove, I can't believe you're talking about eating a juicy, succulent whole pig that was buried underground to be cooked. It was the 90s, okay? A lot of things were different, all right? And I can't explain it any more than that.
I do not agree with this decision, only because the Spirit of Aloha show was something special and unique to the Polynesian. You couldn't do that anywhere else in Disney World.
At the time, I ate a lot of that pig, let me tell you. That was a good pig. That was some good pig.
I think the Polynesian Tower is going to be very pretty, I'm sure, but I think it's going to feel a little like fancy apartment building instead of cool Disney resort, which is my thinking. My cat is so cute.
Spirit of Aloha, they knew how to cook a pig. Pork, yum.
If they had just built another building at the resort, that would have been fine. But taking away something special like the dinner show to build another DVC building, no, I do not agree with that. I do not think that was a good decision.
Listen, I'm hoping that somewhere in the DVC, because obviously if you know me, I'm a proponent of live entertainment. So maybe somewhere in the DVC area, they build a theater. Or you know what, maybe the luau performs in each room. You've got a slotted time, and every 15 minutes, there's a fire guy coming into your room, doing some things.
Loved that pork.
Don't worry, boo. You are now the star of the Grand Floridian.
Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa is Disney World's flagship resort. It is the generally, on average, most expensive resort themed to Victorian grandeur.
It just screams Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
Like, when you think of Disney luxury, I feel like that's the resort.
Rolls Royce and giant gingerbread houses.
And it is what most people consider probably one of the nicest resorts on Disney property.
And maybe chocolate eggs.
It's the one that Jessie sang to Becky in Full House. Oh my gosh, that's such an iconic scene. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up.
Grand Floridian, I have actually never stayed at the Grand Floridian. It is actually my next bucket list resort.
The vibes at the Grand Floridian are fancy ladies having some leisure. And then their men are there too, but they're off reading a newspaper, smoking a cigar.
I like the Grand Floridian's ambiance in the lobby. That is as far as I have made it into the Grand Floridian. I mean, I've eaten there, I've been to the quick services, I like it.
I love to go to Enchanted Rose. I really love eating at Grand Floridian Cafe.
You don't have to be dressed up to go there. I just feel like I do. Because I know that I don't have the money to stay there. So I feel like I have to blend in. Because people are gonna know that I'm not staying there. So I just feel like I have to be like, yeah, I belong here.
As you might know if you watch the channel, I have stayed in almost every single Disney World Resort hotel. I'm taking you with me. Watch my resort tours. Shameless plug. But Grand Floridian was one that I was like, I don't know if this room is worth what I'm paying for it. And the amenities are certainly nice. And being able to walk or ride the monorail right over to Magic Kingdom, very nice, of course. But it's just so expensive.
Oh, how would you spend a day at the Grand Floridian?
I would sleep in.
Because luxury, right? Like what? When you think of luxury, you're like, I'm sleeping in. I've got these nice pillows.
For that much money, I'm going to spend as much time in that bed as possible.
You're waking up at like, not like regular late, but Disney late. So maybe like 10, 9, 10.
You're going to have to make an appointment at the spa.
Probably a facial and a massage. Maybe get my nails done.
If you walk past Gasparilla Island Grill from your room, you have to get the mac and cheese. That's just a rule. I don't make them. I just follow them.
And then I'm gonna go to the pool because cheese and a swimsuit makes sense to me.
Hang out for a little while, grab a drink at the Enchanted Rose, and then I would finish my night off with an early dinner at Victoria and Albert's, of course.
Very fancy restaurant, and it's reopening soon, which means we can all go back. And if you can't be at Grand Floridian or don't want to spend almost $300 at dinner, you can join me, and I will take you with me, and we can go together in a video. Keep an eye out.
And we would cap off the night by going down by the beach area and watching the fireworks in Magic Kingdom. And that would be my perfect Grand Floridian day.
The recent refurb at Grand Floridian.
Number one, Citricos, they kind of rebranded it as like a Mary Poppins theme, which I think is cool.
They have taken the Big Pine Key building, and I did have to say it slow because for me it's a tongue twister.
The Pine Key building switching to DVC, well, I've got to tell you, this was a victimless crime, and they got away with murder.
They are very fancy, I will say. Lots of color. If you're not big on tons of color, they might not be the rooms for you, but it's a very interesting design that they've added where they're kind of combining that traditional, almost Victorian style with more modern and abstract design pieces.
These rooms are amazing, okay? The remodeled rooms, Quincy and I covered the opening of these rooms and we looked at each other and we were like, is it just me or is this like really beautiful?
There is like Victorian wall murals. There's a chandelier that has little birds on it, and in some rooms the little birds are little glass penguins. It is delightful. Delightful. I would live there. I want to decorate my house like it. Gorgeous. So they did an amazing job with these Disney Vacation Club rooms.
Hey, this is another theming that I do like. It's honestly even more subtle than the Moana rooms, because in the Moana rooms at the Polynesian, you have to look for, but Moana's in there, Maui's in there, Hey is in the room. Whereas here at the Grand Floridian, there's not any specific characters on the walls, not even hidden. It's just the colors and the pieces, like the chandelier has birds on it, and you know, all of the colors fit the Mary Poppins theme, and it's done very well. So this is another one that I really, really enjoy, and I think it was a good choice.
What do you want back? You want River Country? Done.
So Disney's Contemporary Resort is also on the Magic Kingdom monorail loop.
Opening Day Resort back in 1971.
Monorail runs right through it, which is a really cool, unique design. That also means that it's easy to hop on the monorail and get where you need to go.
And it's got a contemporary theme, but contemporary for 1971.
It still smells old school. Like the Contemporary has that old school, like 70s vibe smell, y'all.
So it's got a very cool theme in my opinion. Some people don't like it.
I love what the Contemporary was. What it is now is kind of a mess.
I love the Contemporary. It is very nostalgic to me. It is a gorgeous hotel.
When Richard Nixon came up in there, if he left that smell in there. Wait, no, don't use that. What's the next question?
The vibes for the Contemporary. When I walk in, I feel a little confused.
Very mid-century modern, 1960s, 70s, futuristic.
She doesn't really know what the vibes are right now.
You can tell that it's from a specific era that was trying to look like a futuristic era.
It's very 1971,
But in a good way.
but not in a good way.
Used to be modern, was super, super modern, but time passes and time is cruel.
Personally, do not think the Contemporary Resort is the prettiest, but it has a lot of great dining options, and it's one of my favorites in regards to dining.
Recently, the Contemporary went through a refurbishment for their rooms. They are now themed to the IP of The Incredibles, y'all.
A big open concourse, that hasn't really gotten much of a retheme. The lobby, which is on the first floor and is much smaller, has gotten a retheme. It's gotten a beautiful 1970s inspired retheme, new furniture, Mary Blair murals, photos from Disney's opening year, and then there's the new restaurant down there, which is Steakhouse 71, also themed to 1971 Disney's opening year. So it's gotten a pretty extensive retheme at the resort. Some of the rooms are not all turning into them, besides the ones at Bay Lake Tower. So big overhaul here.
I do like the Incredibles rooms. Some people don't like them because it's a lot of theming in your face.
If you're gonna do incredible themed rooms, I think they were done well. I don't know that they're worth what Disney's charging for them.
And this is no shade, but they're kind of like Pop Century vibes. You know what I mean? Like, they're cute and they're modern, but they're not like jaw-droppingly elegant or quirky fun that make me want to stay there. They're just kind of nice.
Which I like. Again, I liked it. But if they had themed the rooms the way they've done the lobby, can you imagine how beautiful those rooms would be?
I think the deluxe resorts should have some rooms that integrate Disney IP. I think it works to have the royal rooms at Port Orleans. I think having everything receive a wash of IP is assuming that everybody who comes here wants to be immersed in Disney 24/7. And I know that is not the fact.
There are quite a few people who stay at deluxe resorts because they want a nice deluxe hotel at Disney. They want that quality service, the quality amenities. They're going to pay that premium price for it, and they don't want Mickey Mouse everywhere.
I think that it would behoove Disney to have maybe 1 or 2 options that are way toned down in terms of the Disney decor, and then have other ones that do have that there, because everyone is going to look for something different.
If I had a superpower, my superpower would be time.
If I could have any superpower, it would never be full. I would try everything at Disney World every single day. And I know that's not an exciting one, but that is absolutely what I would choose. I would never get full for the rest of my life, and I would never get the calories for the rest of my life. I would be so incredibly happy. I would be a different person if I could eat anything I wanted with no repercussions and never get full.
This is my answer that I've always said. If I had a superpower, I would want to just be able to snap my fingers and my hair and makeup be done exactly how I imagined it in my head, dressed, ready to go.
If I were a superpower, my power would be being able to stop Disney from tearing down things that I love. We get Spirit of Aloha and Horizons. And whatever you want. What do you want back? You want River Country? Done.
We need 10 toes, no fingies.
Disney's Boardwalk Resort is one of the DVC resorts. It's technically also one of the Epcot resorts.
It's really self-explanatory. If you think of any boardwalk you've ever been to, Atlantic City, it's exactly that.
It's got the boardwalk atmosphere, and you can walk around, and it's got a bunch of restaurants, and you can walk to Epcot through the International Gateway in the back of World Showcase. It's one of my favorite resorts.
The Boardwalk is kind of the latest announcement. So with these other 3, we've seen the fruits of some of these refurbishments. This one is very much in early progress. There is a lot that is changing at the Boardwalk.
Updating the whole thing, thank goodness, a little bit. So they're getting the cake bake shop. They're going to replace the Boardwalk bakery with the Boardwalk deli. They're doing the rooms, they're doing the lobbies. Something is going in ESPN Club. We don't know yet what it is. Coffee bars, they're redoing Bellevue Lounge. There's a ton of stuff that they're doing right now.
First thing first is the cake bake shop, which it looks a little fancy.
It opens in 2023. I'm super excited about this cake bake shop because it's going to be a table service restaurant where you can sit down and eat food and also buy cakes and different pastries, and you can have tea.
The owner of the cake bake shop posted a picture in front of ESPN Club stating that she was opening a new cake bake shop at the Boardwalk. So I assumed that that's where the cake bake shop was gonna go.
But if it were me, I would put, let's bring back Disney Quest. Disney Quest, if you want the space.
I'm excited about the Boardwalk Deli replacing the bakery. Calling it a deli, I think, is a great rebranding. They'll probably have a lot of the same items on the menu, the sandwiches, and I'm sure they'll continue baking their own bread for the sandwiches, but I think it's a really exciting revamp.
Then the Boardwalk lobby, Bellevue Lounge, the rooms are all getting a retheme, an overhaul.
And what are they gonna do? I hope they keep the carousel.
I absolutely think it needed all of these updates. As long as they keep some of the iconic stuff, like the seahorse chandelier, which I'm sure they will. There's no way they're taking that thing down. And the nanny chairs, because obviously.
The nanny chairs, don't get rid of the nanny chairs.
If you don't know what the nanny chairs are, they're just these chairs that are in the lobby. They're small. They have weird faces on them. Some people say they're haunted.
And they're there for children's nannies to sit in them and watch the children.
There are so few things. I do think the Boardwalk needs a little TLC, but why give up its essence, its zhuzh, its soul? The nanny chairs are its scary soul.
You're sitting on their laps, basically, is if you look at it. If you look at the picture of the nanny chairs, you're sitting on their laps. I'm like, wait, what if they just if you're sitting in them and they just started moving?
Those nanny chairs are creepy. Those things are what nightmares are made out of.
Wait a minute, what is this nanny chair doing? Oh, no.
I would be traumatized. You can't get rid of the nanny chairs. It would be evil. It would be evil to get rid of them.
Get this nanny chair some shoes.
Oh no. What IP do I think they should put at the boardwalk?
Now this is tricky because they've already done the Mickey and Friends slide, so I'm kind of like they'll probably do Mickey and Friends if they do put IP in, which would be cool. There's not like a Mickey and Friends resort, so I'm not totally opposed to that.
I love Mickey and Minnie, don't get me wrong, but the original theme I love more, but I know that people don't even care about Coney Island.
I think if you've seen the Mickey Mouse shorts, they have really great episodes on the boardwalk. It really lends itself to Disney's Boardwalk Resort. I think that would be really cute.
I don't think this resort needs any IP. I think that, the fact that they're, banking on a old-timey boardwalk is IP enough.
I feel like it would be a lot of like Mickey and Minnie walking on the boardwalk, being all cute and riding the little bicycles, and not everywhere. But if you just sprinkle it throughout, little Mickey and Minnie cartoons and all that kind of stuff, I think I would be okay with that.
I'm old and I care about things that nobody cares about. But maybe you care about them too, and that's why we're friends.
My favorite of these refurbs so far is the Grand Floridian refurb. I can't say how much I like it. It is just so beautiful the way that they've redone those rooms, and it really did need it.
It really feels like you are having a luxury experience in Disney without being hit over the head with the fact that you are in Disney World. If you want to see it, you'll see it. If you need to forget about it for a minute, you can just relax and luxuriate in like a hyper beautiful environment.
If I had to pick a Disney resort to be refurbished, I would say All-Star Sports.
You've already done the other value resorts. All-Star Sports needs it. Let's hurry it up, finish the refurb, and then everybody can have wonderful value resorts to stay in.
There's cheerleading groups coming through there, there's big tour groups, there's sports teams, and there's carpet in the rooms. Those don't go together. All of those people running over carpet from what year? And I've stayed in the recently redone All-Star Music, and it was very nice. So Disney, you can get on that.
Why are you asking me this like it's rhetorical? I have a Mary Poppins bag. Shall we open it up and see what's inside? First off, yes, you've got to have a clipboard, okay? Always carry your clipboard. You never know when there might be a scavenger hunt that happens. Beach towel. Many magic bands with me, okay? My cowboy boots. You never know when someone's gonna invite you to line dance at Walt Disney World. Oh my gosh, my disguise wigs. Oh, the most important. Epsom salts. You've got to bring your Epsom salts with you in your Mary Poppins bag to Walt Disney World. Now go watch our episode on the worst hotels in Disney World.